The State Public Regulation Commission, which has been an endless source of controversy, has another one. Two commissioners are demanding that the chief of staff resign because of what he asked another PRC employee to do. When News 13's Katie Kim started asking questions about it, some people became very unhappy. Here's Katie on special assignment.
It's a story some government attorneys don't want you to see.
Turn your camera off, please.
No, we're in a public building. So
I don't consent to being taped.
No, we're in a public building, so we don't need to turn.
I don't consent to being
and
taped.
also, I don't.
We don't.
And
Come over
also,
here.
I don't consent to being taped either.
At the heart of what's happened here is the powerful Public Regulation Commission Chief of Staff, Vince Martinez.
He did act inappropriately, yes, because he's worked for state government long enough. He knows better.
I believe what he did constitutes termination.
Do you regret what happened?
Oh, yeah. It's by virtue of you being here.
Last month, Martinez violated state policy. Some officials say he abused his power. Martinez's son and his son's girlfriend found themselves stranded just outside Raton after their car broke down on their way home from Denver. So who you gonna call? Well, the kid called his dad, PRC boss Vince Martinez. But instead of driving up there himself or calling a friend, Martinez asked an employee, Deputy Fire Marshal Vernon Mueller, to pick up his son and girlfriend in a state vehicle and bring them back to Santa Fe. Mueller was on state business in the Raton area. Cabinet Secretary Ed Burkle oversees the state's vehicle fleet.
The policy was not followed. It should have been.
The rule is very clear. Unless there's an emergency, agencies must get written approval from New Mexico's General Services Department if non-state employees are going to be traveling in a state car. The chief of staff didn't do that.
If that state vehicle were to get in an accident, the state would be liable for the personal injury and any lawsuits that may come out of that.
Did you know that asking this of Vernon Mueller was going to be violating a state policy?
No.
Martinez insists he's in the clear under a provision that allows employees to help people in cases of emergency or in need of assistance.
Why couldn't you just have driven up to Raton and picked up your son and his friend?
I say you're probably absolutely right. Should have done that.
The violation is so serious, the state has suspended both Martinez's and Mueller's state vehicle driving privileges for 90 days.
The policy is very clear, in our opinion.
I don't believe it's appropriate and fair. I've taken full responsibility for this one-time occurrence.
But it's not just the violation of policy. The chief of staff directed an employee he supervises to run a personal errand. Mueller declined to be interviewed for this story, but sources tell us Mueller was intimidated, and he felt he had no choice but to agree to transport the chief of staff's son to Santa Fe.
Do you understand, though, that it would have been hard for Mr. Mueller to say no, given you're his boss?
Absolutely not. He certainly could have said no. I'm not comfortable with that, and that's absolutely great. And that's what it takes.
PRC Commissioners Valerie Espinoza and Ben Hall are demanding Martinez resign or be fired.
How is it going to look on the future of this agency if you have someone who has directed another employee to commit a violation? He should set the bar. He's the chief of staff. He set a really bad example to all other employees that work in this agency.
Should someone be suspended or fired for this incident?
Absolutely not.
PRC Commissioners Montoya, Lyons, and Vicente Aguilar declined comment.
He put not only the deputy fire marshal in a bad light, he also, gives us another black eye. It's a huge deal because he violated public trust.
Do you think that this was a big deal?
At the end of the day, no, I don't. I really don't.
And PRC attorneys don't either.
This is ridiculous.
On special assignment, Katie Kim, KRQE News 13.
The Public Regulation Commission and how commissioners and employees use state vehicles have long been a center of controversy. In 2012, auditors found some commissioners used government vehicles for personal purposes. The audit also found PRC employees made nearly $30,000 worth of prohibited gas purchases on state gas cards. Many of those transactions were never recorded. And of course, Commissioner Jerome Block Jr., an admitted drug addict, pled guilty to misusing his state gas card to steal thousands of dollars.